This may be a time that you are in it. You're going through it and you're just like, what is this? I want to remind you, if you are feeling any form of emotional turmoil, if you're feeling any sort of challenge, pain, suffering in this time, it's normal. You're right on track. We are about to enter into eclipse season. So for about a month, there are really strong astrological events. And for me, astrology is really science. Humans are so affected by gravity and water and the elements. So of course, we're going to be affected by these large bodies of energy that create what is our whole universe, right? We're in connection with the universe in every moment, creating our reality. So as the stars and the planets are shifting, so are we, right? And so what I want to talk to you about today is really help you understand what you might be feeling in this time of the eclipse so that you can prepare yourself. So if you're not feeling your best, that's okay. It's totally normal. And then what you can do to support yourself to feel even better. And I've decided to create special eclipse support sessions that when you message me, I muscle test to see like what is your aligned price. So it's specific to you. And so it's something I've never done before. I was just guided to do it this morning in an instant. And it was really inspired by some clients that are in my group mentorship space and feeling, a lot of emotions coming up for them. And sometimes you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm doing everything right. I don't understand. Or like, why am I all of a sudden feeling this way? And I also had my own astrological reading this week. So I feel really good at this point, but I want you to know that on Monday, I cried. I was like in it at my heart. Actually, I think I cried a little bit yesterday too. And so eclipses are powerful times where we are asked and sometimes forced to change our lives for the better. And where we are living karmic cycles, I'm just pulling my own hair, it's so powerful. Where we are living karmic cycles, and karmic cycles mean where you're living things that are not supportive to your greatest becoming. Things that maybe you're resolving even from a past life. A lot of times these could be like toxic patterns and behaviors. They could be connected to addiction. They could be ways that you abandon yourself. They could be ways you're in situations that are not serving, whether it's a job, a relationship, habits that you do that keep you stuck, small, and out of living your ultimate potential. So sometimes karmic ways could be ways that we sabotage our greatest relationships, expansion of our business, money. And the way you can tell too is if you're in a karmic pattern is you will see your money deplete. So if you suddenly like money's going down, 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 it's telling you you're in a karmic cycle. Like something needs to shift. And guess what? You're the only one who can do that. You're the only one who can change your life. So eclipses especially, it's not a time where you want to start writing down your manifestations. That's not what this time is about. This is really a time of purging, cleansing, self-reflecting, and really thinking like, what is it that I'm called to change about my life? And so for those of you that have been doing your personal development work and you've been really great at your self-awareness and you've been really strong and fierce with your boundaries and your standards and you've been like, nope, not aligned with me. You've been able to have self-awareness and say, oh, I'm doing that thing that I know is not really me, that thing that I know is not truly serving me. And if you're able to catch those moments and really choose from your highest self how to act, what to say, how to be. So the idea is you operating as your best self always, then you're going to find an eclipse time really not so challenging, not so bad. But if you're in a karmic cycle and you're doing things that are sabotaging you, that are not serving you, that are creating discord and disharmony in your life, that are creating challenges in your life, then you're really going to feel it around this eclipse time. And what I invite you is just have so much self-compassion. Hi, Jerry. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, so of course, if you're tuning in, if you're catching the replay or you're live, you can always ask questions and connect and comment and talk to me. I do my best in between transmitting and then reading. Hi, Philip. And so when you're feeling the during the eclipse time, it's totally normal. And so I came on here as like a public service announcement because I had some clients that were really in it and going through it. And they were really in a lot of pain. And I want to share with you the advice that I also share with my clients. And then the other thing too is I also have other clients that are in a super expansion phase. And so know that if you've been doing your work, and she's been working with me for 6 months now, and so she's really been in it, doing her work, healing her karmas, like we do specific karmic clearing, even certain relationship dynamics, even certain situations around work, etc. And so she's in an expansion explosion time with the eclipse. And that's the thing about eclipses, they also help you shift timelines. So the eclipse, even if it's painful and it literally destroys your whole life because a dismantling can happen, like breakups can happen, you could get pushed to move, like these kind of like these moments in time, like there was before the eclipse and there was after the eclipse. So if you observe that is happening in your life, it's a good thing, even if it's painful, because sometimes you don't have the courage or the bravery to make the changes you need to make. And that's what's so nice about the eclipse. It comes in and it stirs the pot. It may create chaos, but it's ultimately meant to serve you. And so if you have the awareness, like, okay, I've been in it, I'm feeling it, cry little, cry. It's like, oh, I'm crazy. It's like, no, it's the full moon and it's the eclipse. So both. So what, let's say, okay, you're feeling it, you're in it. And then you remember, okay, it's the eclipse. What do? You need to feel all of your emotions. You need to feel all of that anger, all of the disappointments, all of the hurt, the grief, the pain. You need to feel that stuff, or else it gets stuck, trapped in your body. And then what it starts to do is it distorts your energy field and it starts to run the show. And because emotions are energy in motion, they want to move in motion. And the way you move energy, specifically in emotion, is you have to feel it. And I know it can be so painful. And it's like you don't want to go there and you're doing things to keep yourself busy so you don't have to feel whatever pain is festering inside of yourself. But you will feel so much better and so much lighter. Did you ever have a really good cry and then be like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better now? It's because all of that heaviness, that density, you got it out through the process of crying, of feeling. And a lot of people hold, even sometimes when I have client sessions, I observe if we're going through a healing process, they start to bite their lip and try not to cry. No, you're being asked to cry. And that's also partly why when you have a session of sorts, it's one of the most powerful things to just have a space holder, because sometimes when you're by yourself, you can't cry because you're so strong. And there's a part of you that wants to keep you safe. That's your ego. So your ego will try to distract you so you don't go into that pain. And some of this pain that you're asked to release can be so old, from childhood. Because what happens is when we have a trauma, a situation, a moment where we felt hurt, we feel an emotion, and if we didn't process it, and what that means to process it in the moment is literally just feel it for the 30 seconds in the moment when it happens, and it's I'm so disappointed. And you allow yourself to feel what you feel. But most people don't allow it. They want to be strong, they want to suppress it and think I'm going to be fine, I'm strong. But then what happens is that gets lodged it festers, and you can even develop an egregore, which means you keep attracting situations. And so here's where you're living the karmic cycle. You attract situations, and then you feel another emotion and another pain that it's all very similar, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it festers, and then soon enough you're sabotaging your whole life. And those emotions keep attracting situations because it wants to heal. It doesn't want to stay there. It's like having food stuck in your throat. Like, it doesn't feel good. Your body, your system, energy is meant to flow in your body, right? Like all that energy strategy work that I do, energy work is always meant to be flowing. And anytime you have a trapped emotion from a trauma, a situation that really hurt you, it's like more blockage, more blockage, more blockage. And then guess what? It develops into disease. So every single disease has an energetic and emotional underpinning. And that's why everything is curable with energy work and emotional processing work. And usually that's just what you need to do to heal yourself. So you're really being invited with this eclipse time to go and feel all of that crap. And then you know what happens on the other side of feeling it, processing, healing it, integrating it? You create space to receive. So if you've felt stagnation in your life, even around abundance or money or opportunities, relationships, you clear that out. You fill with who you truly are, your divine essence. This is a lot of the work that we do inside sessions together. All of a sudden, you're magnetic. Something comes into your life. You receive a new opportunity. All of a sudden, a client comes in. All of a sudden, an opportunity opens. That's how powerful it is when we do our healing work. We receive our best life. When we become our best selves, we receive our best life. Everything's a reflection of us. Everything. And you know what else happens? By creating that space, you have an opportunity to turn it into gold. So if you are in the healing, transformational space, anything, you get inspired. When you overcome something, you're even more powerful. You've reclaimed power. So what that does is it oftentimes activates your creation energy. So all of a sudden you want to create something. You want to create a business. You want to create a new offer. Even if you want to create something for your family, you decide you want to give something. You all of a sudden there's this energy you want to give in some way usually. It's like the gift that comes through. And if you are in the healing and transformational arts, oftentimes, or even if you just are on social media, suddenly you want to create a post, you want to share yourself, you want to show yourself, you want to shine. That's another gift of when you feel and heal something. It's like you feel so different. I feel so much better. And that's exactly what happened. Monday, I cried. I even recorded myself crying. It was the first time I ever did that. I haven't posted it yet, but it's coming in a future reel at some point when I am fully on the other side of the process that I am processing right now. And for the first time, I filmed myself crying, and I was like, fascinating. And then I had such a prolific day. I was 4 hours in channel mode. I went live in a live collaboration about abundance and ascension codes. Then I transmitted a new abundance code. And then I went into my group mentorship program and taught a whole class. Back to back to back to back. Just from crying and feeling my emotions and letting them go, space was created to receive, create, share, give. And that's what an abundant life is. That's what really living is. When you're present, you're creating, you're sharing your gifts. When you have unprocessed crap, it stagnates you. It like puts a veil over you. You don't shine as brightly. It's like bricks that you're carrying around, your baggage. Use this eclipse time powerfully. So what would that look like? So I'm a Vedic astrology kind of person, which is like the ancient astrology, not the tropical one, not the one that's in like Cosmopolitan magazine, So basically it's like slightly off. I think it's like 20 days difference or 25 days difference. So for example, you're likely the sign before the one you really are. That doesn't matter for the purpose of the transmission today, but I like to honor the teachings of Vedic astrology and Vedic principle in general. And when it's an eclipse, you're not supposed to be in the light of the eclipse. You're not supposed to go outside and watch the eclipse, because the eclipse is the chaos time that's clearing and cleaning. Some say it eats everything up. So it's not a good energy to receive directly. It's a powerful energy to transform your life when you use it in the right way. So during the days of the eclipse, you will be mindful to fast, especially during the portal of the eclipse. Now, if it's in the middle of the night for you, then in a way that's easy. You don't eat in that portal. Usually I think it's around like a 3-hour portal that, you can just Google like eclipse time for where you are. I know for me, I think it's in the middle of the night. I think it's 4 to 7:30 in the morning. So it's actually the wee hours of the morning. So I think, so for me, I believe it's tonight into tomorrow morning. And I'll actually be awake during those hours. So what they recommend, because I have a call with someone in California, and so what happens is you'll want to close your blinds. You don't want the light of the eclipse moon on you. And then what you'll want to do is, so you don't want to eat during that time. You don't want to drink alcohol on days of eclipse. I mean, I don't drink alcohol anyway, but if you do, and you want to play mantras, because mantras evoke the positive energies. Especially if you choose mantras that remove obstacles, you can choose mantras that are related to each eclipse. You could also play them. You don't have to necessarily sing them. And then what you do in that time, self-reflect, witness, purge, light a candle, meditate, allow the process, that energy. So even I remember last eclipse season in the spring, I was in Colombia and I was visiting my grandparents, and I said, okay, the eclipse is from this time to this time in Colombia. I'm going to be in the room for 3 hours. I'm going to be chanting, meditate, please don't disturb me. And I just used that time for self-reflection, and there was a big change that was happening in my life at that moment in time. That's kind of what brought me to go to Colombia. I went to visit the natives there, the indigenous. I visited the Kogis and the Wiwa people, and it was such a powerful healing time in that month of eclipse time. And then I went to the Sacred Valley after, and I worked with the rose plant. And so it's really fascinating how we can really use the energy of what's happening to support our greatest becoming. So I'm really inviting you to see and reflect what is asking you to change. Where is your higher self or life showing you? Like if you're noticing challenges, obstacles, that's a life. If things are not flowing with ease and grace, chances are you're being asked to look at your patterns, to look at aspects of yourself, perhaps look at karmic cycles. What are you repeating? What patterns? And the other thing that I want to note that's really unique to this full moon eclipse is there's a Venus retrograde, which means relationships, love, and money are big themes. So what relationships or toxic patterning of relationships are you being asked to finally stop and let go so you can rise into a higher timeline? So have compassion with yourself during this time. So much compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Ask yourself, what do you need? Don't force yourself to do anything you don't want to do, and don't numb out. What I mean by don't numb out is like, don't just like go put on a movie or like drink or distract yourself or all of a sudden fill your schedule with so much to do. That's not the space for the eclipse time if you want to use it to the max. The space to use it for the max is really go within, doing your healing work, your personal development work, reflecting on yourself. Release rituals would be really powerful. I have some of those inside of my rituality course. And like I said, if you want to book a session with me, I'm doing kind of a muscle testing seeing whatever is your unique price, just message me that you want to have the Eclipse session, and then we'll see, and then you could see if it resonates for you. So I send you so much love in this time. Thank you so much for being here. Big kiss to you. So many blessings as you cross through this portal of the eclipse. Know that it's serving you. Know that as all of the emotions and the feelings and all of it comes up, just feel it. Feel it. Feel it. I accept this. Now what? Okay. And just like allow yourself that space. Be that space holder for yourself. And the space holder is actually the theme of my group mentorship this month. So if you want to go even deeper and you're committing to a new path and higher timeline, I also invite you into my group mentorship space. The doors are only open for another 2 weeks or so. So now's the time to get in there as well. And just really allow yourself to feel it all. And another way you can do that with the feeling is it's like scanning your body. And you can even, let's do it together now. So I invite you to bring in a white healing light weaved with some gold. And as you bring in this white healing light weaved with gold, just allow it to support you in doing a body scan. And at first, if there are spaces in your body that you feel extra tension, like it's painful or you feel heavy, you can go straight there. And you breathe into it and just allow yourself to express. And you don't have to even try to make a story about it. If the story is there, witness it like a movie. And I like to affirm, I let go of this. I release myself of this. I let go of what's no longer serving. I like to connect to divine forces and use prayer. Prayer is so powerful. Prayer is so powerful to get us out of the dark nights of the soul. It's like we give it over to grace, to the divine, to God, to our spirit guides, to the universe, to the forces of creation that are greater than us. You, as this human, you don't have to figure it all out and know all the answers and know where you're going next. But the more you're present with your life and you consciously choose I choose to let go of this pattern right now. I choose to let go of this relationship right now. And you might start to yawn. Or like I said, you might cry. And sometimes if you feel like it's stuck and you can't feel, this is where breath work can really help. And I go deeper in my work with all of this stuff, but I'm just kind of giving you some quick things. And really, again, like I said, the point is feel, release it. If all of a sudden you're driving in your car and you feel emotions, let yourself feel them. Try not to stuff them down okay, later I'm going to do it. I've cried a few times. I think I was even in the gym too, crying this week. And you feel lighter. That's why I'm still able to show up for my work and share with you and talk to you and go through it. Right? We're all humans. And so I feel like what makes me a guide is I'm just in real time practicing this and able to share it with you and able to be an example. Look, even through going through challenging situations, you can still be prolific in creation. You can still show up and be loved. You can still show up to life, to family, to friends. And then, of course, knowing when to take that solitude time. And the eclipse time is so powerful for that. Of course, if you're called to go, I'm going to go to a sound healing session on Sunday. I'm going to do ecstatic dance tomorrow, because all of that, dancing too, that's such a powerful way to move the body, move energy in the body. And if there's moments I feel I want to cry, then I'll do that. So let yourself feel. It's a superpower. It's how we move energy. This eclipse time is asking you, what are you ready to let go of? What are the patterns that are not serving you that you are ready to let go of? What are the karmic cycles, the patterns you keep living out that are not supporting your greatest becoming? If anything, they're preventing you from your next level evolution. Really get radically honest with yourself. Do the release work. Do the healing sessions. Feel. Sit with yourself. Meditate. put on mantra. The eclipse time is an opportunity for you. Are you ready to live your highest timeline? Are you ready to live your fullest potential? Yes, you are. You can do this. Message me if you want to receive one of these eclipse sessions. I send you so much love. Big kiss, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.